What's up, guys? Dan from Faux Pro Hockey here, and we got a special one today for you. Why? Because you get to hear my voice, probably for the first time, so lucky you. No, in all actuality, I'm excited to do a little bit of an unboxing of one of the new players in the slider space, if you will, for roller and deck hockey players. It's called Crease Commanders. My box just arrived today, and I want to walk through what I'm seeing so you guys can get a first look at this. I'm not going to be able to speak to how well they work because I haven't used them yet. So I'll just be talking through my experience in purchasing them and first impressions of what the sliders look like. I do have a game in a few days, so hopefully I'll get these on the pads before then to give you an idea of how they actually work. So first things first. This is the box that they came in. Pretty sweet. It's black, nondescript. But the impressive part is when you open it up, it gives you a nice little instructions sheet. But everything's laid out here, and it looks pretty dope, if you ask me. So, pretty cool that it gives you a pretty detailed instructions, a bunch of other stuff in terms of like maintenance, replacement parts with even links to things to purchase for the replacement. But let's get to the sliders themselves. And you can see there's a bunch of these things, I believe 16 in total, that do have the little ball bearing type feel that roller flies have. And some of them are a little bit tighter than others, but I'm super excited for this because I have been using roller flies for the past few years. So I've got a bunch of these in here. They already had the Velcro on the back, and then they had these little nubs that I'm going to put close to the toe box on the leg pads, just to help the scuffing there. Pretty neat that it already has the Velcro attached to it. That's neat in some ways, but in my particular instance, not so neat, because unfortunately on my pads with the roller flies, I have it inversed. So the scratchy side is what I have affixed to the pad, and the soft side is on the roller flies themselves, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of surgery to reverse that before I could use them. Now in terms of the build quality, it actually looks pretty sick. There's no like rough edges or anything like this. Looks like the craftsmanship is done pretty well. I obviously haven't inspected every single one of these elements, so I'll do a little bit of a deeper detail look into those and see how all of them came out. But for the most part, build quality seems pretty solid. It's not all that flexible, so they do feel pretty rigid. And if I do want to just give like a little sample, they do seem to slide pretty well on a hard surface, so decided to get them a go. Now when comparing to the roller flies, they do seem to have a tiny bit larger of a profile, higher of a profile, bigger profile, taller profile, but not by much. It's hard to tell without actually getting these on the pads how much of a difference it is. I don't think it'll be a significant difference, but I'll give you an idea once I give these a go. So just to do a very scientific side-by-side comparison, if I get my roller flies out here and I find something wide enough, maybe like a ruler or something. Maybe you could edit this part out, Dan. I don't know. It's not all that entertaining. If I put the level, it's actually pretty even. It's very slight. Just slightly higher. Not terribly by too much. Maybe it's the Velcro that's getting in the way. So yeah, if I don't put it on the Velcro, I leave it on top of the screws, you can see that it's, half a bubble, a little bit higher. Will that affect performance? Are pucks going to sneak through, given this higher profile? Doubtful. But time will tell. So to talk through the buying process just a little bit, pretty simple, pretty fast. It was a little nerve-wracking, not gonna lie, just sending an email to a person saying, hey, I want to give you money, can you give me things? And just sent him a Venmo, and sure enough, a few days later, this box arrived. So hoping that Crease Commander can get like a true online presence to help with the legitimacy, or at least squash any of the concerns or fears that you might have just sending a Venmo to a random ad that you saw on Facebook. I'm sure it's in the works, just time will tell. But beyond that, super impressed with the packaging and everything, and like I said, the quality does feel pretty solid, and yeah, super fast shipping. I purchased this, I believe, on a Friday or Saturday, and it arrived the following Wednesday. And just to give a little background on me and my experience with sliders, I'm glad that these guys are in the space. I've been a deck hockey player for a good portion, maybe a decade or so. Just got into roller the past 3 or 4 years, and I'm used to the Koneskis of the world. Passau is another one that I used to use previously, and even more. So excited to give these a go. Stick around, check back in a few days, and I should have my new video posted. Thanks.